All right. Welcome. Thanks for joining this afternoon or viewing this later. BoxLock is the supply chain access platform. Our mission is to make operations more efficient, accountable, and reliable wherever assets are stored and transferred. I have the pleasure of being joined today by John Paget, our Senior Manager of Product Excellence, and I am Robert Rodebaum, VP of Strategic Accounts. John is going to go through a demonstration of BoxLock Control, our online platform, where you will see how to manage your fleet of devices and set up your environment. So, refresher on BoxLock, really thinking about three main components: our devices, our platform, and then integrating and using other platforms to control our devices. So, the devices themselves are connected to a cloud environment. They can be connected via Wi Fi or cellular. They have built in SIM cards for connectivity in mobile locations. And they also have a built in Zebra barcode scanner in the bottom. So, any 1D or 2D barcode can be scanned and ingested into our system. This can be for access control with the barcodes you'll see in our platform, or it can be for things like inventory, where you're actually scanning additional barcodes and our system is reading it and passing that data on to other systems or reporting for you. Our platform, again, John will be diving into a demo shortly, but this can be accessed via desktop or mobile versions with phones or tablets. You'll manage like I said, manage your fleet of devices here, manage your barcodes, your permissions, your settings, basically set up your environment. We do a lot of this work with our customers during the onboarding experience. We like to take a hands-on approach with sharing best practices and setting these things up and defining those for you. And then lastly, integrations. We have a number of integrations with customers and partners we work with today, where you can actually manage our devices and do most of what you'll see, if not almost all of what you see in our platform, through an integration, through a RESting API, webhook. Some folks like to use Zapier and other tools to connect to Google Sheets, down to really that level, or sending notifications via email or SMS. A lot you can do with our platform. Last couple pieces I'll touch on here. Again, I mentioned you can access control via desktop. There's that view. Tablet. You can store your barcodes to Apple Wallet or a Google Wallet if that's helpful. And there's also an application on Zebra handheld devices where you can interact with our devices natively. Last piece here before John dives into our demonstration of control, just talking about some of what these different things you'll see in the demo. The reporting, there's customizable reports and dashboards. Those can be canned and emailed to an audience as needed. You can define what data and what measurables are most beneficial, KPIs for your organization. Barcodes, again, those will be your digital keys for access. The locations, we'll talk a little bit about what locations mean, but that's really how you map your access control and define where your locks are living at any given time in the system. Trackables can be any materials, assets, tools, packages, specimens. We've done it with ballots, where we're actually tracking dynamically assets moving through the supply chain. Locks, pretty self-explanatory. Looking at details of your devices as they're out in the field. And then your activities is going to actually be your log of all your lock events. Every time your lock connects, you're getting a ton of data back and time stamped. And so that can be used in a number of ways that's beneficial for organizations. And then again, we'll show at the end, but the help link will take you out to our knowledge base, where a lot of what we're covering today is also going to be displayed. So without further ado, I will hand it over to John.
Thanks, Robert. So we're going to dive in again with control and just do a quick overview of the tabs on the left-hand side and what each of those do and how to kind of quickly navigate on our platform. So this dashboard is the landing page. This gives you a quick snapshot of your account, how many total locks you have. If there are any with low battery, you'll want to be able to see that here. Any of the activity over the past 7 days, whether it be barcode scans or even geolocation, which is something that's really cool if you want to keep track of where your locks are. Any of this information is exportable as well. So if you want to export that to a CSV, that ability is right there for you. Next tab is locations. So the location is where your locks are. So think if you have a clinic that has 4 or 5 locks there, or if you have a will call pickup locker that has 5 or 6 locks at that locker location, you would set up a location and nest each of those locks under that location. It's just a quick and easy way to kind of organize your locks to know where they are and where they're assigned. So next we have locks. This is a quick snapshot of all the locks that you have. You can have the lock name. This shows you the location. Again, whether it's at that locker or at the clinic, that location is right there for you. And you got some vitals on the lock itself. So last updated, when it connected to service, and the battery life on there. And then next is the barcodes. The barcodes are really the digital keys that you're using to unlock the lock and really use that to function really. So each barcode can have a specific name, whether you want to assign that out to a specific employee. Their barcode will give them access to as many or as few locks as you want. It's really easy to add a new barcode. Again, what does this barcode need to unlock? Should it access everything, a specific lock, a specific location group? Based off of what your use case is, you can kind of mix and match even. And then we also have the configuration of the access. So if you want that to be unlimited access, it can use it for the duration of that barcode, turning it off and on. If you want to restrict that access, you can have it valid for a certain date range, or you could have it valid for a certain number of uses. And the most popular one we see that for is, again, that will call pickup locker. You can send it out to your customer. Hey, you have 2 scans with this barcode to unlock the locker. Again, naming the barcode whatever you want. It'll auto-generate this barcode, but if you have employee badges that already have a barcode attached to them, like Robert mentioned, you can just use that barcode, program it in here, and now that employee badge that already had the barcode will be able to unlock whatever locks that you assign to them. This page is the trackables. These are the items that you would want to keep track of, whether they be tools, packages. You would manage that from this platform. Adding a trackable is really easy. You just pick the type. You're easily able to manage that here. Next page is the activity. This is really the audit log of everything that's going on with your locks. You can see when a lock was opened, what barcode opened that lock, if there was an unsuccessful scan, any data point on what that lock is doing and how it's interacting with the barcodes can be found here. So this is really helpful, whether it be an intrusion attempt that you want to get a notification of, or you want to know that your client did unlock their locker and picked up that material that you put in there for them. We can configure this to send you text messages, send you emails, whatever is easier for you, just so you get that up-to-date notification about what's going on. And then the last page here is just your account. This is where you can configure your account. If you want to add more users to your account, maybe you have another administrator who needs to use control and needs to have this configuration ability, you can just add them on here. You can configure the locks from this page, and we also have an API. So if you're interested in integrating with our platform and want to connect the two, get in touch with us about that. We've integrated with a handful of people already, and it makes it really easy. That way you're not having to have employees navigate 2 different systems. They're really just navigating on their native platform and getting all those same really good updates from using Control. Any questions that you have about Control, obviously, feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have.